All right, now we're going to be talking about our core values. When we first made these core values, we really weighed into our employees and really tried to determine what were the values that made us so unique and so different from everybody else. What were the things that we truly did value ourselves? And we came up with a list that we're going to go over right now, and I'm going to tell you why each one is so important to us, and then how we ingrain them into the systems that operate and run TheraFit. So the first of our core values is be passionate. Like I was talking about in the introductory and kind of telling you about our story and what makes us so different is that we are passionate. I have an uncle that has suffered a traumatic brain injury. I have a cousin that they're both incredibly near and dear to me that have both have very difficult disabilities, and my aunt takes care of them. And to me, I'm just incredibly passionate about this field. I'm incredibly passionate about helping the people that we work with, and that's what that first core value is. It is be passionate. Obviously, you cannot get into this field unless you are passionate, and I truly believe that this is not a field that is for everybody. So the first one is be passionate. You got into this field for a reason. You're passionate about what you do, and that's why we hired you. So just the other thing is passion is a choice. You choose to be passionate about something. There are people in this world that will never be passionate about something, and it's not because necessarily, it's not because they are just, something wrong with them or whatnot. It's because passion is a choice. You get to choose what to be passionate about. If you start playing Minecraft, you can choose to be passionate about Minecraft. If you start helping homeless people, you can choose to help homeless people and be passionate about it. So the next one is to deliver wow service. So this is one that we always joke about. And we always say, a lot of our staff are usually saying, I've delivered wow service, and I love it. I love that this is something that's so forefront to everybody's mind that they think to joke about it. And so when we talk about delivering wow service, we say, how can you go above and beyond the call of duty every day when providing the services to the customers and to each other, to just staff. Going above and beyond will certainly wow our customers, and it creates a happy environment to be in. So, so one of the ways, probably one of my favorite stories is we have a patient that comes all the way down from Virginia, and they come up in the summer for a couple of weeks every summer, stay in a hotel, do intensive therapy with us at our Westminster location, and it's interesting because Christy at the time was wearing lots of different hats. This was a couple of years ago, and she was a fitness therapist. She was a front desk receptionist. She just did everything. She cleaned. She just wore a lot of different hats. So her time was very limited. She was a PT aide. She was helping in the treatments, and I just remember her being so busy. And I remember the patient's mom coming up with, and this patient was a really intense traumatic brain injury. He was actually shot 9 times and was just basically still in a comatose state. So the mom had a heavy burden on her just to be able to get him up and going in the day, let alone get him to therapy that was 3 hours away. And one day she asked where she could eat. And Christy told her a couple of recommendations, and then, I thought that was the end of it. And after our treatment, we went back up, and I was telling, his mom how she did and all. And we were at the front desk, and Christy had printed off a list of all the best restaurants in Westminster, and all of them had kind of some directions on them and stuff. And I just remember thinking, wow. And that's that wow service, it's taking the time, going the extra mile, and just really doing a good job. And some of the ways that we ingrain that into our atmosphere, our culture, is to just constantly be thinking about that wow service. And we'll give gift cards away and stuff. Just if I ever see somebody with a cool wow story, I'll just shoot them a gift card and just thank them for it, because displaying the values that we really believe are at our core. So the next one is embrace and drive change. So therapy can be mundane, and for that matter, so can work. So challenge yourself and your mind to reach new levels. We don't need new equipment or new things or new treatment ways to drive change. It's the people that drive the change. So this one's interesting because another thing that I really believe in is smiling. Just the ability to smile someone can brighten their day, can make them happier, can make it more energetic and a better atmosphere. So it's the people that change people. And, of course, all the equipment that we have is definitely going to help. But if you went into therapy every day with a frown and just a really bad attitude, then what's it going to do? Everybody else is going to be down and gloomy. But if you go into it energetic, happy, excited, thrilled that they are standing right in front of you and that they are here and ready for treatment, then you're going to get a much more positive outcome. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that our attitudes create better outcomes for our patients. And not only do I believe that, there's actually studies that prove that. There were actually parallel studies that went with each other of therapists that were overly excited on one end and then therapists that were just like kind of on the other end. And can you believe that the patients that had a therapist that had a great attitude actually performed better than the patients without it? Their functional outcomes were better because a therapist had a better outcome. They were happier, they were more energetic, they were more joyful. So think about that. The other thing is joy. I heard this saying once, but it's so true. It's the only person that can steal your joy is you. The only person that can steal our patients' joy is themselves. So we don't have the ability to steal someone else's joy. Of course, you could do things to upset somebody, but it's up to that person to actually take their joy away from them. So just be the catalyst for change. We get a lot of people with neurological disabilities and disabilities that are degenerative, sometimes even fatal. And changing the outcome of their mind, changing that their attitudes can really trigger progress. We've seen people with progressive disabilities that shouldn't have any kind of increase in function get better. And you wonder what it is. It's the atmosphere that we create. It's the way that we interact with our patients. And just like I said, therapy can be mundane. Anything can be mundane. If you're doing something over and over, it's going to get mundane. But be the catalyst for change. Figure out new ways to challenge yourself. Constantly go to Continuum Ed. Constantly be looking things up on Google, on WebMD, on different search engines, and constantly be challenging yourself to be better. The next one is be unique, creative, and intentional. And that word intentional is just a word that I love. I love that word intentional. It's just being mindful about what you're doing, doing something intentionally. I just love it. Be unique, creative, and intentional. It's our staff that the people enjoy. It's not the building, it's not the music, the machines. We create an experience for people to enjoy. It's our culture that people love. We want people to leave loving the experience and the atmosphere. So, and we talk a lot about this in our staff trainings. But when someone goes to the movie theater, they don't go to see a movie. You're not going to pay $40 to go see a movie. You'll pay $2 to go see a movie at Redbox, but you'll pay $40 for an experience. You love that big theater. You love the Dolby Digital Surround. You love the widescreen. You hate the chairs, but you'll deal with them because you get the rest of the atmosphere, So it just goes to show that it's the atmosphere that people love. It's the entertainment. And when they come here to TheraFit, we engage with them. We ask them about their day. We ask them about their weekends. We create a culture of love towards our patients, of understanding towards our patients, of interaction towards our patients. And that's what makes us unique. And we're creative in the sense that our treatments are intentional. We know what we're doing with the patient. We're not just doing something blind. We're not just doing something because we did it last time, but we're being intentional with our time, and we're creating unique treatment sessions. And we're challenging core stabilization in fun ways, not just throwing a ball back and forth on the mat table, but let's get them in standing, high kneel, really challenging them, playing Wii, whatever it is, getting them, excited about therapy. So the other thing is, this is my personal favorite core value, so it's going to be good. But some of you might already know it because it's one of the interview questions that we ask. It's create fun and a little weird. So this is by far my most favorite core value. And it's because I'm weird. I'm just a weird person. I feel like I'm a fun person, but I'm also a weird person. So no one likes to work in a boring environment, and anything can become mundane and boring. So don't be afraid to switch things up and make it fun and weird. And what's the opposite of fun and weird? Boring and, I don't know, normal? I'd rather be fun and weird. So build open and honest relationships through communication. By far one of my nearest and dearest core values. It's one of the things that I teach my kids. It's one of the things that I value most in this workplace. And I believe it's incredibly important. So 30% of communication is verbal, 70% is nonverbal. So just be cognizant of how you're speaking to your patients. If you're having a bad day, they're gonna know it. So just put on an act. And yes, I'm saying act, because I don't always come into work and want to smile, but I do, because it's an act. I want people to understand that I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not going to do. And I believe that if we're putting on an act, then guess what? It's going to catch on. You can't live in an act too long. So if you start smiling, you start being happy, then you're going to be happy, even if you got something really stressful going on at home. But just as an actor gets paid to act, while you're here, I want you to put on an attitude of gratitude. I want you to smile. I want you to be joyful. I want you to be happy. I want you to engage with our patients. It's incredibly important. And I got off a little bit there, but when we're talking about this honesty, this is a very big thing for me. I really value it. So as I was saying, 30% verbal, 70% nonverbal. So if I'm talking to you and I'm talking in a very loud, mean voice, and I'm saying, I love you, you're such a good employee. That comes across very confusing, because 70% of my interaction with you is nonverbal, and you're getting the sense that I'm frustrated and I'm not happy, and only 30% of that is coming across as you're a great employee and I love you. But that just shows what your body language can do. So that being said, if something's going on, we generally know. So just come to me, be honest. Just if something's going on, let me know. You'll feel better, I'll feel better, your supervisors will feel better, whoever is going to feel better. But the one thing that I'm going to say here is this is a no gossip zone. Please do not gossip. Gossip plants little seeds of doubt, and they just grow and grow and grow. Gossip's like a weed. It'll just spread all throughout our organization. We've had lots of team meetings where we stomp it out too, because I'm very, very, very big on the gossip. And gossip is when person A and person B have something that they need to talk about. And then one of them decides that it would be a great idea to tell person C. And what happens is person A tells person C, and it voids the trust between person A and B. Even if person B doesn't know about it, you're creating gossip. You're talking about somebody behind the back. It's horrible. It's the worst thing you can do. So if you have a problem with somebody, please go to them about it first. If you two can't figure it out, go to a supervisor, but do not talk to somebody else about it. It is just not accepted here. We will talk to you about it if it happens. I'd just rather it not happen. So. But that being said, communication, by far, one of the hardest things to get right. So let's do it with honesty. If we're being unhonest about our communicating and our relationships that we're building here, we're never going to have good relationships. It's always just going to be subpar. And like I said, we're creating a culture that's awesome, not something that's simple or anything less than excellent. So pursue growth and learning is the next core value. And obviously, the therapist, you're going to constantly be pursuing growth and learning because of your licensing. But do you think you would elsewise? And I ask that because, if we're not made to pursue growth and learning, I wonder how much we actually will. And that's why it's necessary. You wouldn't want a doctor working on you, let's say a heart surgeon working on you that hasn't had any continuing ed in 20 years. That would be ridiculous, Same thing goes with a therapist. But I urge you guys to never stop pursuing growth and learning. Constantly be trying to grow yourself, to grow your knowledge in any area, Benjamin Franklin once said that being ignorant is not as much of a shame as being unwilling to learn. And I can't agree more with that. So not just continuing education for maintenance of licensures, but true education for personal and clinical growth. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. By the way, we're all going to make mistakes. It happens. We just learn from them and we press on. I don't care if you make a mistake. I care about, okay, how can we keep that from happening in the future now? How can we learn from it? How can we grow from it? How can we create systems around it to make sure it doesn't happen in the future? And the last one is build a team. So this is our cultural goal is to create a team, a unified group of people striving together for one goal to be able to just wow patients and enjoy each other and just create an atmosphere that's fun, exciting, lovable, honest, enjoyable. I wake up every single day excited to go to work. It is a Monday. Today is a Monday. I don't have a case of the Mondays. I never do. I love coming here. I love working with you guys. And it's because I get to choose to do what I want. And this is something that I am absolutely positive is where I'm supposed to be. It's the reason that I was made is to be here on this earth, to run TheraFit, be a dad, be a husband, and love God. And that is it. Those are the reasons that I am here on this earth. And obviously created a legacy for my children. But building a team is something that I love. And I try to figure out constantly, how can we get to be more and more and more and more of a team? So a team has purpose, it has direction, and it has unity. And it only works if everybody's on board. If the defense is lacking a good relationship with the offense, then there's going to be combat, there's going to be strife, there's going to be conflict, and it's just never going to be everything that it could be. So I just challenge you guys, be a team, work together, communicate. This could be the best place that you ever work. I truly believe that. But it takes you buying into these core values, memorizing these core values. Sometimes at our employee meetings, I will let you know. I just ask people who can name the most core values, and I'll give you a gift card right on the spot for the person that knows the most. So, and it's because I care about these. I truly believe we've built systems in our business around these. That's why we reimburse for continuing ed. Everybody gets that. And it's because I truly believe that I want to be a part of determining what education you're getting, because I don't want you doing just something silly that doesn't relate to our business. I want you doing something that's going to be beneficial and help our customers, our clients. So, guys, please don't take these with a grain of salt. These are so incredibly important. So thank you.